So, hi, Chief Brunner, and welcome to Bottom Line with Roni Byron. Glad to have you on the show today.
Yes, thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
Well, I wanted you to come on the show to explain to our viewers basically how the fire this past week in Bay County, affected Jackson County, and just kind of give us an update of where we are with the burn ban.
Sure. First of all, the fires that broke out in Bay County last Friday broke out around in the unincorporated area in the Springfield area. And Bay County Fire Rescue used every department in their county to assist fighting that fire as it grew rapidly around a lot of homes, a lot of businesses and schools and churches. They requested local mutual aid from neighboring counties such as Gulf, Calhoun, Jackson, Washington counties, and Walton counties, immediate mutual aid. Jackson County Fire Rescue, along with Delwood, Malone, Bascom, the city of Marianna, and Compass Lake, we all provided mutual aid as we could, but we had to be very delicate in providing that mutual aid because the weather conditions were very similar to us in our county. So we didn't pull all the resources from our area. What we sent some reserve apparatus that we could and off-duty personnel to help with those fires. Of course, now, as of today, what's known as the Chipola Complex fire now, as of the 7 a.m. update from the Florida Forest Service, the largest fire, which was originally the Bertha Swamp Road fire that started in Gulf County but moved into both Bay and Calhoun counties, is 33,141 acres, and they have it at 40% contained. The rain has definitely helped the Florida Forest Service wildland firefighters. They were able to establish larger fire lines from the communities and homes, and that water has reduced the fire behavior on that fire, and it's allowed them to get a lot closer and get ahead of this. So we should see these fires get contained within the next couple of days, with fingers crossed and a lot of prayer. Right. What's interesting to note is those similar conditions when Hurricane Michael tore through here in 2018, that eye came through our own county, Jackson County here. And so that similar scenario could very well happen in our own community. With the massive amount of down debris that's still out there on private property. It's just a hardship for landowners. It's a lot of dollars and a lot of hours to clean a lot of that up. And so a lot of people try to scrutinize private landowners, but that's really a hefty dollar amount to get that cleaned up. And that's why we still see a lot of that down. Our Commissioner of Agriculture, Nikki Freed, said there was over 2.5 million pounds of debris still left on the ground.
And we're talking about, 3 years later?
A little over 3 years later, correct. So that's pretty eye-opening when you talk about 2.5 million pounds of debris still left on the ground.
So, Chief Bruno, take us back to the first day of that fire. What caused it? Do we know yet?
They have not released a cause. I think due to the massive amount of acres, they have not released to any of us. I think they're still investigating. The Florida Forest Service is still investigating. We were told the nature was accidental and not intentional, but they have not released any specific details. That started near 15th Street in Panama City.
Near the transmitter intersection, correct?
Yes, ma'am, correct.
Transmitter Road, I should say. Yeah. Okay. So when, that started, of course, it just kind of migrated. And, on Wednesday, we started seeing ashes and heavy smoke over here in Jackson County.
Correct.
And people were wondering, was there a fire here? And I know you guys had to kind of dispel some of those talk.
Correct. Yes, we had actually on Sunday, we started getting a lot of our 911 center at the Jackson County Sheriff's Office started getting a lot of calls regarding falling ash. And of course, we had the heavy smoke Sunday afternoon. throughout the week. Last week, we had some very nice weather, 85 degrees and sunny, but we had a strong wind out of the south coming from Bay County, pushing directly north. And then in some days, it was out of the southwest, pushing northeast. So beginning of the week, we had a lot of ash and smoke coming from falling around the Alford, Compass Lake, southwestern Jackson County residents.
Okay.
And then as the week progressed on, even some residents in Mariana, Sneads, and Grand Ridge also saw that same conditions.
Okay. So that's what we saw here on Wednesday as well.
That is correct.
Yeah. So there is a burn ban. Talk about that.
Yes, so we, based on the situation for the wildfires last Friday, we asked the Board of County Commissioners to enact a local ban on burning, which prohibited any outdoor burning. This was at the recommendation of the Florida Forest Service, and we have a great working relationship with the men and women there at the Florida Forest Service that are the wildland firefighters. They're very educated on weather conditions with the humidity, the dew points, and the winds. And they monitor the drought index for the state of Florida and our local counties. So we're very fortunate to have those partners with them.
So, I mean, with this, all the resources being, targeted towards Bay County and trying to help there, did that put Jackson County any type of, I guess, risk, or were we able to kind of still monitor what was going on here?
We were not affected as far as resources. We were able to keep all of our resources in place. And one of the things in speaking with the Florida Forest Service and Bay County officials is they wanted to keep our local resources local because we were all affected by the same weather and we all had the down debris. So we actually had, they kept the forest rangers and the forest firefighters in our Mariana office for our county. They did remain here. Some of the off-duty guys did provide aid in Bay County, but they brought a lot of the strike teams from the Jacksonville and South Florida area that did not have the same fire conditions, because they knew if they had all the resources dedicated in Bay County and we had a fire in Jackson, they wanted to have somebody readily available. Hats off to those men and women. They've done a great job with staging those resources and keeping them local. Mm-hmm. And so they really thought that through.
Absolutely. That's awesome. Well, Chief Brunner, we really appreciate you for joining us here on the show today and just letting our viewers know, what's going on and keeping us abreast. Is there anything else you would like to share?
Yes, I would like to say I'm working with Keith Maddox, my operations chief and emergency management director, and working with Miss Renee Skurlock, the emergency management coordinator. We are going to be pushing out through the Board of County Commissioners and emergency management some wildfire education materials. We expect our wildfire season usually kicks off around the end of April, 1st of May. And we expect a drier season this year with a higher index of fire risk. So we want to push out a lot of education material to our citizens through your podcast, through our local media outlets, and as well as the radio outlets, to allow the citizens and the homeowners to just be educated on, when is the right time to burn, how to prepare their property. And even we saw a lot of evacuations down in Bay County, but that we need to make sure that our residents know what to take with them when they're evacuated, and not to be fearful.
What
routes.
Yeah.
And so we, the past 2 weeks, we've been doing a lot of planning with emergency management on sheltering locations. And of course, it's different from a hurricane or a tornado. You still have cell phone service, you still have running water, and still have food, and still have power, but it's a little bit different on the sheltering aspect. So we've been doing a lot of planning here in the last couple of weeks, but we want to educate our citizens on, so we're staying ready and we're not caught off guard at the last minute. So expect to see a lot of that material be pushed out in the next couple of weeks.
Right. Well, make sure that we get that material with Bottom Line with Roni Byron. We'll make sure we push it out as much as possible here.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Thank you so much for letting us know that, because I was unaware. So
yes, ma'am.
We look forward to seeing the information and look forward to you, giving us an update
Yes.
on that burn ban so we can spread the information out to the viewers as well.
Okay. And we thank you so much for being a partner with us and allowing me to come on your show. I really appreciate that.
All right. Thank you so much. That is our very own fire chief, Chief Charlie Brunner. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye-bye.